Hello, my friends, and I am so sorry it's taking me so long to get back to you. I have been dreadfully ill for the past week and a half, and I'm getting better, so I apologize, though, if I cough here and there because it's still kind of lingering around. There it goes. I swear I'm like the last person on this planet who's read this book, but I wanted to share it with you because I've absolutely been loving reading it since I've been ill. How to win friends and influence people. And there's so much in this book that I could talk about, but one particular lesson that I truly believe is beautiful is one where it talks about everyone's need to be important, but also the value in not arguing with people. And I mean, in this day and age, and especially in the online world, everyone feels such an incredibly entrenched need to be right. And there is a certain amount of self-importance that comes with being right, because we don't want to go around thinking that we're wrong about everything. But there's a bit of almost like an obsession with being right and making sure everyone else knows that we're right. And it's actually really dangerous to go around and acting this way. Because let's say, for instance, you're speaking and you're presenting your opinion, and then someone comes at you with something that is maybe completely opposite and possibly even completely wrong. So, for example, let's say I say, okay, one kid, go and grab me a blue sticky, right? This is a blue sticky note. And you're like, oh, you mean the orange one? And I'm like, no, the blue one. The orange one. Now, in this position, it sounds so silly, but we could enter in a massive argument about how this is blue, but no, you say it's orange. We can dig in our heels, build our trenches, call each other names. It's like, what do you mean? Are you stupid? Like, this is blue. Everyone knows this is blue. I hate that everyone argument, but everyone likes to bring it in because it makes us feel like we're not the only ones who have this opinion. So we bring in the imaginary everyone into our argument. So I can say, this is blue, and everyone knows it is blue. All that does is it belittles my opponent. It makes them feel bad, and I challenge their own values and their own feeling of self-importance. And when something like that happens, it doesn't matter if they suddenly agree that this is blue, because they have stated that, that it's orange. They're going to argue with you. They're not going to come over and agree with you if you continually harass them or criticize them or diminish them in some way, and certainly not if you really attack their own feeling of self-importance. And so what I love about this book, to bring it back, is that what Dale Carnegie says is to, instead of arguing, is to seek to understand. So say, for instance, we go through the beginning of the conversation. It's like, oh, this is a blue sticky, and you say it's orange. Instead of arguing with you about it, I can say, really? You see orange? Well, that's really interesting. If I hold up this cup, what do you see? And so you seek to understand what is going on in that other person's world. And what could actually be happening is the person could be completely colorblind. So imagine the stupidity of an argument where you're trying to convince someone of a color and they're colorblind, right? That is, again, a complete waste of time. All you've done is created an enemy. No one's going to be coming over onto your side. And again, that person's feelings have probably been hurt. And so in the idea of influencing people next year, and by influencing people, you need them to believe in you, you need them to buy from you, you need to engage with you, right? You need them to refer you maybe to get more business. It's all about influence. And the more you seek to understand other people's positions and where they're coming from and what their principles are, the further you're going to get in the world. Ray Dalio calls it radical open-mindedness in his book, Work-Life Principles. And the way he goes about this takes it a step further. If he has a position, a principle, and he wants to test it out, he will seek people who have opposite views. And he will go to them, not to argue with them, but to seek to understand their position. Because maybe he's wrong. Maybe something in his logic is not added up properly. And if he seeks to understand other people's opinions, then he can actually bolster and strengthen his own position and make him either more successful or more influential, or to achieve whatever objective he has set out for himself. So you can see how the stupidity, I keep using that word because it truly is, it's asinine. It is needless argumentativeness that tears down the fabric of our social walls and creates enemies instead of friends. And even if you cannot be friends, you still don't need to be enemies. It's not a either or, right? Just because you don't agree with someone does not, or that you're not even close to someone, doesn't mean that they're your enemy. But the more enemies you have, the harder it is for you to actually accomplish what you want in life. And I don't want any of that to happen to you guys in 2020. So, like if you haven't read this book, it's absolutely fantastic. Again, I can't believe it took me this long to read it. But really focus in on how it talks about avoiding criticism. Benjamin Franklin, when he was growing up, was apparently a horrifically critical guy. And until one day when someone said to him, and I'm completely paraphrasing, but basically, Ben, you're a jerk and no one wants to be around you. You always have to be right. And so you're belligerent. And you're going to be no smarter in 10, 15 years than you are right now because of you being like this. And to Ben's credit, he realized that, I'm not going to get anywhere, and completely changed. And he never criticized someone again. So that's someone I want to learn more about, and there's other examples I'm sure that you can think about of people who they don't argue. They seek to understand. And yet those people are far more successful than the ones who dig in their heels and insist on always being right. There is nothing wrong with being right, but there's everything wrong with belittling someone in order to make yourself feel a little bit better about yourself or about your position. So in this online world of bullying, belittlement, maybe you can be one of those people that just seeks to understand. And if there's an argument going on, throw in your own words to say, hey, wait a second, let's think about this. Is there another way that we can look at this argument? Is there another way that we can extend the olive branch from one side to the other and then find at least some sort of a common ground without making anyone feel bad? All right, so again, sorry for feeling croaky and for the intermittent coughing. I wish you guys, whatever you celebrate at this time of year, I wish you the absolute most merriest, wonderful time. And if you see someone out there that needs a smile, a helping hand, or just your presence, make sure that you take the extra time to do that, because not everyone finds this time of year to be a happy time of year, but we all can help to lift up humanity one little step at a time, one little smile at a time. See you guys soon.